What if I told you that right now, while you're paying more for groceries than ever before, there is one category of food that most Americans are completely ignoring, and it could save your family hundreds of dollars this year alone. Not coupons, not store brands. Something your great-grandmother used every single day and knew by heart. By the time this video is done, you will know exactly what to stockpile before the prices explode even further. And trust me, the ones near the end of this list are the ones nobody is talking about. So stay with me all the way through. Before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome to Hidden Life Hacks. We share the kind of practical, money-saving knowledge that most people find out too late. Hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell so you never miss a video like this one. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely changes how prepared your household is going to be in the months ahead. Now let's get into it. Here's what is happening right now and why it matters to your kitchen. Crude oil prices spiked hard in early 2026 following serious disruptions in the Middle East, and vegetable oil prices are sitting at more than double their historical average. You might be thinking, okay, so cooking oil costs a little more, big deal. But here's the part that most people do not connect. Oil is not just in your bottle of canola. Oil is in the fuel that runs the farm equipment that grows the crops. It is in the fertilizer production process. It is in the trucks that ship every single thing in your grocery store. When crude oil goes up, everything in the food supply chain goes up with it. And cooking oil, because it goes through growing, extracting, refining, bottling, and shipping, gets hit at every single stage. This is not a temporary blip. This is a structural squeeze, and the solution has been sitting in human kitchens for thousands of years. Solid fats, that is it. That is the answer. And today I'm going to walk you through every single one worth knowing about. The first one on the list is also the most important one, and if you only take away one thing from this video, let it be this: ghee. If you have never heard of ghee, it is simply butter that has had all the milk solids and water removed. What is left is pure, shelf-stable, incredibly heat-stable golden fat that has been used in South Asian kitchens for thousands of years. And now, modern food science has confirmed exactly why it works so well. A sealed jar of ghee sitting in a cool, dark cupboard can last up to 2 years or more without any refrigeration at all. It has a smoke point of 485 degrees Fahrenheit, which means you can saute, fry, and roast at high heat without the fat breaking down and releasing harmful compounds the way cheap vegetable oil does. And because all the water has been removed from the butter, it is actually tolerated by most people who are sensitive to lactose or dairy. Ghee contains more medium and short-chain fatty acids than regular butter, over 25% compared to butter's 12 to 15%, which means your body actually processes it more efficiently as fuel. A quality jar of ghee costs between $12 and $15 and gives you over 200 servings of cooking fat. Do the math. That is less than 8 cents per meal. And unlike a bottle of olive oil or avocado oil that starts degrading the moment you open it, ghee just sits there on your shelf, perfectly stable, month after month. Now, while ghee is the king of long shelf life, the next fat on this list is the one that made the original McDonald's French fries the most famous fries in history, until they quietly switched in 1990 and the fries were never quite the same again. Beef tallow. Tallow is rendered fat from cattle, specifically from the dense fat that surrounds the organs, and it is experiencing a major comeback among chefs, home cooks, and anyone who has started paying attention to what goes into their food. About 55% of tallow is saturated fat, and 40% is monounsaturated fat. Both of these fat types are extremely heat stable. They do not produce free radicals when heated the way polyunsaturated vegetable oils do. Tallow has a smoke point of around 400 degrees Fahrenheit and is outstanding for deep frying, roasting, and high heat searing. But here is the thing that makes tallow exceptional as a stockpile item beyond just its shelf life. You can reuse it multiple times after cooking without significant breakdown. Try doing that with canola oil. Every time you push liquid vegetable oil through a high heat frying session, it degrades further. Tallow just keeps going. One jar goes significantly further per meal than the same volume of liquid oil. At room temperature with proper storage, tallow can maintain its quality for approximately 1 year. And it is also worth knowing that tallow contains palmitic acid, which has documented antiviral and antibacterial properties. This is not just a cooking fat. This is a functional, shelf-stable, historically proven food tool. Right alongside tallow belongs lard, and these two are not the same thing. Lard is rendered pork fat, and it was the single most common cooking fat in American, European, Mexican, and Chinese kitchens until the early 20th century. It was only pushed off shelves after an aggressive marketing campaign in the early 1900s convinced the public that vegetable shortening was superior. It was not. High-quality lard, specifically leaf lard from around the pig's kidneys, has a mild to almost neutral flavor. It is not greasy or heavy, And it is the reason your grandmother's pie crust and biscuits were so impossibly flaky. The fat structure of lard creates layers in baked goods that no liquid oil can replicate. Lard contains up to 50% monounsaturated fat and also provides some vitamin D when it comes from pasture-raised pigs that were raised outdoors in sunlight. Its smoke point is around 370 degrees Fahrenheit. Use tallow when you want maximum heat and a savory depth of flavor. Use lard when you need a neutral fat that gives you texture, flakiness, and tenderness. Both belong in your pantry. Lard in brick form is one of the most economical calorie-dense foods available per dollar in any grocery store right now. Let me ask you something. Drop a comment below and tell me, had you ever considered putting any of these fats in your pantry before watching this? I genuinely want to know. And while you're down there, share this video with one person in your life who is feeling the pressure of grocery prices right now. It could save them real money. Moving on to the plant-based side of this list. Canned coconut cream is arguably the single highest value bulk purchase you can make right now. An unopened can of coconut cream stores for 2 to 5 years at room temperature in a cool, dry place. It contains 20 to 24% fat, and that fat is composed of medium-chain fatty acids, a type of saturated fat that the body metabolizes differently from other fats, converting it rapidly into energy rather than storing it. Medium-chain fatty acids also support brain function, gut health, and the immune system, and the body converts them into antimicrobial compounds that actively fight bacteria and viruses. What makes coconut cream extraordinary as a pantry item is its triple function. You can scoop the thick cream layer from the top of a chilled can and use it directly as a cooking fat substitute. You can stir the entire can into rice, lentils, or beans to add caloric density and richness, and you can use it as the base for sauces, curries, soups, and desserts that would otherwise require refrigerated dairy products. One case of 12 cans bought now, before energy inflation reaches the tropical product supply chain, is one of the smartest food purchases available at any price point. Now here's the one most people throw away without a second thought. Every time you cook bacon, you are generating a completely free cooking fat. Bacon drippings, or bacon fat, have been collected and saved by home cooks for generations. Pour it into a sealed glass jar, keep it in the refrigerator, and you have a rich, flavorful cooking fat that costs you absolutely nothing beyond what you were already spending on bacon. It has a smoke point of around 325 degrees Fahrenheit and is excellent for sautéing vegetables, frying eggs, making cornbread, and finishing pan sauces. The fat you are pouring down the drain is a free pantry asset. Start saving it today. Refined coconut oil in solid form is the most accessible plant-based solid fat for bulk storage. It is naturally solid at room temperature in most climates, highly resistant to rancidity, and widely available at warehouse clubs at reasonable prices. The key distinction to understand is that refined coconut oil has a higher smoke point and a neutral flavor suited to savory cooking, while unrefined virgin coconut oil retains the coconut aroma that makes it ideal for baking and tropical dishes. Buy both if you cook a wide variety of foods. Coconut manna, also called coconut butter, is made from pureed whole coconut meat rather than just the oil, which means it contains fiber and protein alongside fat, making it a more complete nutritional product that stores at room temperature for up to 2 years in sealed jars. Commercially canned butter is something very few people know exists. Butter can be purchased in sealed tins from specialty food companies and military surplus suppliers, and it stores at room temperature for periods far exceeding fresh butter, sometimes up to 5 years. For people who want the flavor and nutritional profile of high-quality butter without the refrigeration dependency, tinned butter is one of the most underutilized pantry items available right now. Similarly, freeze-dried butter powder and freeze-dried cheese powder use the same vacuum drying technology used by space programs and military food suppliers to extend the shelf life of dairy fat sources to 10 years or more in sealed cans. The price per ounce is higher, but the caloric security per dollar of shelf space is genuinely extraordinary. Let's talk about some of the less obvious items that function as fat delivery systems. Foods so naturally dense in their own fat content that they eliminate the need for added cooking oil when prepared correctly. Canned sardines and canned mackerel packed in their own natural oil or in olive oil are exceptional examples. They can be eaten directly from the tin, mashed into sauces, or gently heated in the canned liquid, which functions as the cooking medium itself. Canned salmon packed in olive oil or its own juices delivers complete protein, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, calcium from the soft bones, and enough natural fat to function as a complete standalone meal with a shelf life of 3 to 5 years in unopened cans. Whole raw almonds, walnuts, and pecans in vacuum-sealed bags carry their own fat so completely that baked goods made with ground nuts require significantly less added oil than equivalent recipes made without them. Pumpkin seeds deliver approximately 50% fat by weight and can be ground into a seed butter at home. Hemp seeds in sealed vacuum bags contain about 49% fat by weight, with a near ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids for a plant-based source. Chia seeds store sealed at room temperature for 4 to 5 years, are approximately 31% fat by weight, and form a gel when mixed with water that functions as a fat replacer in baking. And if you want the best liquid oil for long-term storage, because solid fats cover most of your cooking needs, but a quality liquid oil still has its place, extra virgin olive oil in dark glass bottles or sealed tins is the gold standard. The natural antioxidant polyphenols in high-quality olive oil inhibit oxidation, and the dark packaging blocks the light exposure that degrades oil quality over time. Dark toasted sesame oil also deserves mention here because it has the longest shelf life of any liquid oil due to natural antioxidant compounds in the sesame plant, typically lasting 2 years or more, even after opening. And peanut oil, while a liquid, has an extraordinarily high smoke point of 450 degrees Fahrenheit and a much longer shelf life than most vegetable oils because of its relatively low polyunsaturated fat content. Here's the bottom line and the action plan. The items driving the most urgent case for stockpiling right now, based on shelf life, cost per serving, cooking versatility, and exposure to the current supply chain squeeze, are jarred grass-fed ghee, rendered lard in block form, jarred beef tallow, canned coconut cream in bulk, peanut butter and nut butters, whole raw nuts in sealed bags, extra virgin olive oil in tin, and chia and flax seeds in vacuum bags. A suggested starting point for a family of 4, building 3 months of cooking fat security, would be 2 large jars of grass-fed ghee, 2 to 4 pounds of lard, 1 to 2 jars of beef tallow, a case of 12 cans of full-fat coconut cream, 4 to 6 large jars of peanut butter, and a 10-pound bag of whole raw almonds or walnuts alongside packets of chia and flax seeds. Store everything away from heat, light, and oxygen, the 3 factors that cause fat to go rancid. Keep all jars tightly sealed when not in use. Date everything when you buy it and rotate so the oldest items get used first. The people who understood this during the oil shocks of the 1970s were not extreme survivalists. They were simply applying the same instinct that every grandmother before the 1950s already had, that liquid vegetable oil is a product of the industrial era. Convenient, cheap, when supply chains are stable, but fragile and dependent on conditions that are clearly not stable right now. The kitchen knowledge that solid fats are more resilient, more nutritious, and more versatile than industrial seed oils was never forgotten by cooks across South Asia, West Africa, East Asia, and the Mediterranean. And in 2026, with food prices still climbing and supply chains still under pressure, what they never forgot may be exactly what protects your household budget most effectively in the months ahead. If this video gave you even one thing you're going to act on this week, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below telling me which fat you're going to stock up on first. I read every single one. And if you are not subscribed to Hidden Life Hacks yet, now is the time. We put out videos exactly like this one, practical, actionable, and focused on real savings for real families. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you in the next one.